We have our brother who is a father, a business owner. He's the representative of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan here in the city of Denver and the surrounding areas. I'd like to bring before you this wonderful brother, Student Minister Herman Muhammad.
Yes, sir. Thank you, fam. All praise is due to Allah. Let us first start by saying, in the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, I bear witness that there is no God but Allah. I bear witness that Muhammad is his messenger. As students of religion and as human beings on this wonderful planet, we thank Allah for all of his messengers and all of the scriptures that they brought. We thank Allah for Abraham and the Abrahamic prophets and the scripture, the Holy Torah, the Old Testament. We thank Allah for Jesus and his disciples and the gospel as we know it. We thank Allah for Prophet Muhammad ibn Abdullah 1400 years ago and the divine revelation of the Holy Quran. May the peace and blessings of Allah be upon each and every one of these worthy servants of his. As students of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, of course, we can never thank Allah enough for his intervention, his divine intervention in our affairs.
Right.
That he came to us in the divine person of Master Fard Muhammad, the great Mahdi, to whom praise is due forever. We thank him for, upon his coming, raising one from amongst us, a Georgia-born black man who only went to the 3rd or 4th grade of school. But in my estimation, besides Allah himself, is the most powerful man to ever walk this planet.
That's right.
That one I'm speaking of is our exalted Christ, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. And we thank them both for not leaving us comfortless in the absence of God and his messenger, but leaving one as a reminder that God is actually present.
Yes, sir.
Right? A beautiful black man who I am attempting to represent to you today, the national representative of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the Messiah in our midst.
Yes, sir.
The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. And it is in their names that I greet my beautiful sisters and my brothers in the greeting words of peace. We say it in the Arabic language, of course, Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam, sir.
How's everyone feeling?
Fine, sir.
Everybody good?
Yes.
Praise be to Allah. We're going to have a nice little family chat today. By Allah's grace. And this is good. All praise is due to Allah. We definitely want to concert our efforts on the first work, right?
Yes.
And that is to go after Allah's people.
Yes, sir.
So, with a wisdom that is this powerful, man, there's no reason why each and every one of us shouldn't bring somebody with us, right?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All praises due to Allah. But we're going to get right into it. Today, our subject is, I think is very much needed. Is Islam dignifies. Islam dignifies. And this subject, and it's beautiful that we got the family here together because we're going to get back to the foundation of what brought us all here. Comes out of this wonderful book right here, Message to the Black Man in America. On page 84, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad wrote a chapter entitled Islam Dignifies, right?
Yes, sir.
And it's so important because, as we all know, being lost here in America, amongst a very strange and wicked people,
Facts.
we lost all manner of dignity.
Facts. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes,
Is
sir.
that right?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
And
All manner.
it's not ancient history or far history,
Yes, sir.
but right now we stand in a position as a people to where it seems as though we've lost all dignity.
Yes, sir. Yeah. All manner.
And so the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, with this message to the black man in America, and look at that title of that book, Message to the Black Man in America, specifically for you and I, he gave us a message that gives us dignity.
Beautiful.
Yes, sir.
Now, to start off, I mean, we're going to go to the basics because maybe we don't even know what dignity is. It's been absent for so long
Facts.
that maybe we don't know what it is.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But when we talk about Islam, of course, we know what Islam is. I hope we do in this room. Islam means peace, right? Or submission to the will of God. That is the nature in which we were all created.
Yes, sir.
But to get on to the next one, dignity. This is powerful. Look how long that definition is. Dignity is calm, serious, and controlled behavior that makes people respect you. The importance and value that a person has that makes other people respect them or makes them respect themselves. From the old French dignité, which means dignity, privilege, honor, or from the Latin dignitatum, which means worthiness.
That's heavy.
Islam dignifies.
Nice. Makes you worthy.
Makes you worthy.
Yes.
So, like I stated before, most of our people, I'm not going to dignify by giving us examples of us seeing it on the presentation in terms of the way that we don't have dignity. And the reason being is because we see that enough all the time.
Yes, sir.
But one could go to social media, you can go to Facebook, you can go to Instagram, you can go to TikTok, and you can see how our people in particular, and that's what we're speaking to today,
Yes, sir.
we don't have calm, serious, and controlled behavior.
Yes, sir. Calm.
Is that right?
Facts, man.
We do not. We showing our behind
Yes,
on
sir.
social media.
That's facts.
Yes, sir.
We showing our behind on these streets.
Yes, sir.
Okay, just walk right outside.
Facts.
And you can see that many of our people, by the way that we display ourselves outwardly, the way we dress,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
what we put on before we leave the house. If we got on pajamas and house shoes, they do that now. Have y'all seen that? Like people coming out their house in their pajamas and house shoes? Like no dignity.
Yes, sir. Brother. Good teaching.
So on page 84 of that wonderful book, Message to the Black Man, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad lays it out in such a way that, man, it's just powerful. I encourage each and every one of us to go to that book and read it. But I'm going to go through these points because I was blown away. And we're talking about a chapter in the Message to the Black Man that's only a page and a half or so.
Yes, sir.
But it's so full.
Go ahead, brother.
He starts out by saying, Islam is our religion by nature. Man was made according to the scripture in the image and likeness of God. So Islam is our religion by nature. But once we were brought here to this country, we know and understand that we were robbed of our religion.
Facts.
Right?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
That's an actual fact. We were robbed of our religion, our culture, our folkways, our mores, everything that we knew. But more importantly, brothers and sisters,
Come on.
we were robbed of our actual nature.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Bro.
Think about that.
Yes, sir.
Say it again.
Go ahead.
That's a cold shot. That's a cold thing to do to a people. Now, when you talk about robbing them of their actual nature,
Go ahead, bro.
You robbed me,
I mean, think about that, man. And we see it. We see it amongst the Caucasian right now. Like, if we go to the zoo right now, you see a lion in a cage.
Go ahead, brother.
It's not a natural lion.
No, sir.
He's been robbed of his nature.
Facts, bro.
Because if he were a natural lion, they wouldn't be able to put him in a cage.
Go ahead, brother. Yes, sir, brother.
Real talk.
Yeah.
So with regard to us, we were totally robbed of our nature. We're made in the image and after the likeness of God himself. So how could God ever be a slave?
To anything. Yes, sir, brother.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So the enemy totally robbed us of our nature, making us into niggas and coons and coloreds and ham bones and shines and all of the derogatory names that they called us. But they actually made us into that. It was a process, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Number two, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad writes, in terms of Islam, it is the original. I'm gonna say that again.
Yeah.
It is the original, the only religion of Allah and his prophets.
Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
Controversy.
The only religion.
Controversy, right? Because we got so many different religions. We got Buddhism, we got Christianity, we got Judaism, we got Confucianism, we got Shintoism, we got Taoism. Should I go on? There's so many.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But the Honorable Elijah Muhammad says emphatically that this religion, Islam, is the original, the only religion of Allah and his prophets.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know, there would be those who would argue with us, right?
Yes, sir.
They would argue with us upstairs.
Yes, sir.
Christianity.
Show me.
You still got
They would
to
argue us down at the temple.
You
Judaism.
still got to submit. All of you.
But here's the bottom line. When we search, if we talk about Christianity or we talk about Judaism and we search this book, and this book has, man, let me see.
66.
We got 66 books in it, but in terms of pages, man, I got like 1,500 pages in this one book. 1,500 pages with tens of thousands of words. But the one word that you cannot find in this Bible
Come on.
is Christianity.
Yes, sir.
That's just a fact.
That's just a fact.
Jesus never said it. Moses never said it. Abraham never said it. Lot never said it. Nobody ever talked about Christianity being the religion of God. In fact, it was Jesus' enemies
That's right.
who mocked him at Antioch,
Facts.
who called his followers Christians.
Facts. Yes, sir.
But he never named his religion Christianity. Moses never called what he taught the people Judaism. Someone came, some Johnny come lately came after the fact and said this is the tribe of Judah, and so they called it Judaism.
The isms of Judah.
But the only time that God names a religion
The Holy Quran.
is when we get to this book,
Yes, sir.
the Holy Quran. When in it Allah says, and look at this,
This day.
This day
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
have I perfected for you your religion and completed my favor on you and chosen for you Islam as a religion.
Listen.
Now that's powerful. That's so full right there.
Very full.
This day have I perfected for you your religion and completed my favor on you and chosen for you Islam as a religion. Now notice, he didn't say that I made or I created for you Islam. He said he's chosen for you Islam as a religion, implying that Islam, before it was your religion, already existed.
That's right. That's right. Go ahead, brother.
Think that over now. He said, I ain't choose this for you. I made this for you. Here you go.
Yeah.
No, he said, I perfected for you your religion. It was already in existence.
Yes, sir. He perfected it.
But he perfected it because Islam, like we stated before, is to submit one's will to do the will of God. But many of us, since we've been hit in the head by the devil, don't know how to submit to God. Because as we were talking about last week, we've been born in sin and shaped in iniquity. We're in a sinful world. We don't know how to bow down to God.
Wow.
So Allah comes along in this book and he begins to give you ways. He begins to give you what the traditional Muslims call the sunnah,
Yes, sir. Yes,
or
sir.
the path to Allah. Ways to God. One way is, first thing is you got to believe that there's only one.
Yes, sir.
There you
Yes,
go.
sir.
Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Got to believe that there's only one. Then secondly, he says, well, and then also you got to pray to that one.
Yes, sir.
And he gave us times of prayer. He gave us different times of day to pray and a certain amount of times to pray each and every day. That's perfecting for you your religion.
Yes,
he
sir.
said that you got to pay zakat
Yes, sir.
or charity.
Yes, sir.
Well, you don't have to. There's no compulsion. But if you believe,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
then you have to pay charity or zakat. He says, again, in perfecting his way, that you have to fast in this religion in order to submit. You have to fast, especially during the month of Ramadan,
Yes, sir.
which inshallah will be starting next week on April 1st.
Yes, sir.
Y'all ready for Ramadan? Praise God. Praise God. Yes, sir. And last, the fifth way, or the fifth pillar, as we call it in Islam, is to go on Hajj. Take that journey to Mecca at least once in your lifetime. There's a spiritual, of course, aspect to that as well. But those are the 5 ways that Allah gave us where he perfected our religion and completed his favor.
That's heavy right there.
See, that's heavy.
Yes, sir.
Because we are the people of God.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
He favored.
We are his favorite.
Yes, sir.
Y'all didn't hear me.
Yes, sir.
Yes, we did, brother.
Y'all didn't hear me. I mean, that's big.
Yes, sir.
When God say, you my favorite.
That's right.
Anybody got a favorite child?
You know how that is.
You know, we all do. We lie about it, say, no, we love them all. And we do love them all equally. But we got a favorite.
That's real. That's real.
There's that one that can always call us up and ask us for whatever, and we just not gonna say no. Right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and we don't tell the other ones, you know what I'm saying? You make them all think, you my favorite. But all praise is due to Allah. God has chosen us to be his favorite. Oh man, that's so beautiful.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, here we are with this perfected religion. God has completed his favor and chosen for us Islam as a religion. Now the Honorable Elijah Muhammad says number 3 about Islam. It dignifies the black man and gives us the desire to be clean internally and externally, and for the first time have a sense of dignity. It dignifies us and makes us desire
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
to be clean. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
To be clean internally and externally. So now, brothers, as we come into Islam and we learn more and more and more about it, see, it's one thing to put that suit and that bow tie on, right? Because now we're cleaning ourselves up externally. But the other thing is to clean ourselves up internally.
Yes, sir.
It's to watch what it is that we eat, to watch what it is that we drink, to watch what it is that we consume.
Facts. Yes, sir.
Period, right?
Yes, sir.
Even more importantly than physical food is our mental and spiritual food.
You better say that again, brother.
Is that right?
Yes, sir.
I mean, we can't be consuming, in terms of our mental. And let me be clear. In terms of our mental, we should be careful with what we watch. We should be careful with the music that we listen to.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And with us, brothers, I know, I love hip hop too. But a lot of that music is so filthy
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
that if we're bombarding our brains with it all the time, we begin to think like that. Music is an incredibly powerful vehicle.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Because it influences people to a point where almost they could be in a trance-like state.
Yes, sir. Subconscious.
I mean, big time. And so we begin to manifest that which we are listening to. So we have to be very careful with especially the hip hop or the rap that we listen to, because a lot of these brothers are being encouraged by the enemy to give us as much filth as they possibly can.
These are facts.
So even when we listen to hip hop, we should listen with discernment.
Yes, sir.
When we listen to our R&B or whatever music that we listen to, we should listen with discernment. We should listen with the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad always at the forefront of our mind.
Yes,
right?
yes.
In terms of, and this is just mental food. If we shouldn't be reading, filthy books or pornographic magazines. We call them triple X or the Muslim movies. We shouldn't be watching them. Y'all know what the Muslim movies are.
I never heard
3
that.
X's.
3
It's just a joke. It's a bad joke.
Real bad.
We get X's.
Yes, sir. It's too much X's.
But no, we should be reading the Bible, reading the Quran, reading the books of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, reading the books of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, reading material that is going to uplift, to inspire, elevate,
Yes.
edify. And even because you can, any knowledge, every book contains a measure of knowledge,
Yes.
right? And the Honorable Elijah Muhammad says the amount of knowledge really depends upon the motivation of the author of that particular book, right? So, but we should always read, again, with discernment. Read books, but always through the lens of the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And then we'll be able to mine out of that book, whatever it is, the jewels that we can use, and we'll be able to throw away whatever filth and indecency is in that particular thing.
That's part.
All right?
That's part.
All praise is due to Allah.
Yes, sir. That's part.
So that's what Islam does. And as we get clean internally and externally, our sisters are gonna look like these beautiful sisters on this side of the room. Is that right? Let's
That's
give the
right.
sisters a round of applause. Instead of the stuff that we see on Instagram or Facebook or wherever we watching social media, instead of the stuff that we see on television or movies, all of the ways that they undress the black woman, Islam dignifies and civilizes her to the point where she looks like these beautiful sisters over here.
Yes, sir. Yes,
In terms of the brothers, I mean, we know. I couldn't find a before and after of the sisters, right?
Yes.
Thankfully. Thankfully. But the brothers, I mean, we can see it, man. We can see it. These are brothers who are actually in the mosque. In Florida, Brother Mordecai, you might know some of these brothers. Many of us never met him, never been in the same room with him, but we love him because of what he's given to us. We love him because he loves us.
That's right.
And he's proven it time and time and time again. We love one another, so we fellowship with one another. Is that right?
Come on.
Right.
Didn't nothing bring us to this room this morning but some love.
That's right.
We all could have found something else to do.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes.
Is there some basketball games on? Is there some March Madness taking place?
Come on, brother. That's right.
I don't even know what time they play, but I know they're going to play today. I think. I'm not sure. But we love one another. That's what makes a man go put on a suit and go out in the hot sun and sell a Final Call newspaper.
Yes, sir.
That's love. That's love. It's love for self and Allah that makes a sister put on that beautiful garment
Right.
when the
right,
world
right.
is undressing her. Is that right?
Come on.
Yes,
You
sir.
can't get no attention when you covered up in this world.
That's right.
The only way you get attention is if you uncover. Show everything. Everything except for what's in here. Is that right?
That's right.
So it is love. Islam makes us to know and love one another as never before. Number 6, Islam. It destroys superstition and removes the veil of falsehood. It heals both physical and spiritual ills by teaching what to eat, when to eat, what to think, and how to act. I'm going to say that again. Islam, it destroys superstition and removes the veil of falsehood. It heals both physical and spiritual ills by teaching what to eat, when to eat, what to think, and how to act. Now, when I'm talking about superstition, I want to be very, very, very clear. See, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us, of course, the reality of God, right? That God is a man. He's not a spirit. He's not a spook. He's not some formless thing floating around, scaring people. He's not Casper the Friendly Ghost.
Come on,
right?
teach.
He's real.
That's right.
In fact, every time you look at a black man or you look at a black woman, you're looking at God, according to the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
So this knowledge destroys superstition. In the Nation of Islam, we don't believe in astrology, right? What's your sign?
Come on.
Gemini. Well, what's going to happen today to you according to the horoscope? No, we don't believe in that. And if you look at those things, they're always so general in terms of horoscopes that they can apply to anybody.
That's right.
We don't believe in tarot card readings, anything superstitious of that nature. We're not going to walk down the street avoiding cracks so we don't break mama's back.
Come on, that's right.
Yes, sir. No, you
Or if a black cat cross our path, we just toe back like, oh my God. Don't split that pole. Don't walk underneath that ladder. I mean, all of this craziness.
Come on.
Right?
That's right.
We don't believe in 13 being a unlucky number.
Yeah. Come on, brother.
Unlucky for who?
Come on.
Unlucky for what? Right? And when you search this is just an interesting side note. When you search the history of that Friday the 13th, you know, there's many different stories as to what really happened. But it was the main story that seems to have more credibility than any of the others is that it was when the Moors had conquered all of known Europe. The Europeans sent an expedition to, you know, investigate what happened to some of their peoples, right? And when they came upon the people that went on this mission against the Moors, they found all their heads on a spike. Like, I mean, literally, you know what I'm saying, hundreds of people. And it happened on a Friday the 13th.
Come on.
And so ever since then, you know, 13 or Friday the 13th has always been a horrible number, an unlucky number for them. In fact, white folks would go so far as to not even have a 13th floor
That's right.
in their building.
That's right. Come on.
And it's like, wow. But it shows that they don't believe in God.
Come on.
That's right.
They don't believe in a God really outside of themselves, right?
Yes, sir.
And in certain areas they're correct because God is a man. But they have to believe in a God outside of themselves because God is a black man.
Come on.
You see what I'm saying? But we don't believe in any of that sort of superstition. And Islam removes all of that. This next one is so important. Because we already talked about what to eat and what not to eat, when to eat, how to think, and how to act. Islam gives us all of that. And it really reshapes the way that we think. And I've heard people say, y'all brainwashed. Y'all say,
Come on. Come on.
that's one of the things that they'll say.
Sure.
They got you out here selling these papers. Minister Farrakhan doing, he brainwashing you niggas. And my response has always been, well, my brain needed to be washed.
That's right.
Yes, sir. Good point.
My thinking needed to be
Yes,
cleaned
sir.
up.
Sir.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
The whole way that we think needed to be reshaped. In fact, everything that we've learned under this enemy, you need to unlearn. Everything
Yes,
that
sir.
the white man taught you to do, you need to do the opposite.
That's right.
Yes, your brain needs to be washed. Your mind needs to be cleansed. You need to become an entirely new creature. And Islam makes us into that. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
All praise is due to Allah. Number 7, Islam. It is the only religion that has divine power to unite us and save us from the destruction of the war of Armageddon, which is now. It is also the only religion that will survive the great holy war or the final war between Allah, God, and the devil. Now, I will come to this. The latest edition of the Final Call newspaper. And we should all have this or get this edition if we don't have it yet. On the brink of a pit of fire. See, we're wondering, right? We're wondering what's going on. We're wondering why Russia and Ukraine and what's this going to lead to. And the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan answered us during the swan song as to what all of this is going to lead to. We're in this great war that the scripture called, and the Honorable Elijah Muhammad correctly identified as the war of Armageddon. Armageddon means armies gathered for the doom.
Come on.
Now, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said it right, that this war between Russia and the Ukraine and what Vladimir Putin is doing, it really indicates the end of white supremacy. That it's white folks fighting one another, right? And that the U.S. don't want to get in. They don't want to get in. Biden don't want to get in. There's a lot of the Congress who do want to get in, but President Biden doesn't want to get in because he knows that what the U.S. and Russia have is what they call détente, which means détente means you got the same thing I got.
Teach.
See, it's not a problem. It wouldn't be a big deal, man, if it was Syria or Iraq or Libya or anything like that. If it were one of those opponents, then America wouldn't have any problem getting in. Because they get in, they go like they did, destroy your country, and here, let me take your oil while I'm here, and send my gas prices down, and send your economy into a tailspin.
That's right. Come on.
See, that's what the enemy does. The devil always want to pick a fight with somebody he think he could beat. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
But with Russia, nah, man. You don't want to poke the bear. So they want to stay out of that. But what's happening is in the Ukraine was on the verge of becoming a NATO country. Y'all all right?
Yes, sir.
Y'all know what NATO is? NATO is the North Atlantic Trade or Treaty Organization. Thank you, sister. North Atlantic Treaty Organization. And all of these European nations who are so-called democracies, America, England, France, Germany, all of these are NATO countries, right? But what happened was when the Soviet Union broke up, many of the countries that were in the former Soviet Union also became NATO countries. Russia and China and all of these big so-called communist countries, they consider democracy or so-called democracies, let me be clear, as their enemy, right? So if Russia's over there and he's got all these different countries that used to be part of the Soviet Union, including the Ukraine, now some of these countries more and more of these countries are becoming NATO countries, joining NATO. Then now what you're doing to Russia is you're surrounding Russia with their enemies.
Come on.
See, we have to be able to make sense of what these white folks are doing. They don't do stuff just for no reason. Whenever a white man go to war, there's some money, there's some resources, there's something involved that he got to get out of it.
Right.
And Vladimir Putin is no different, right? So Ukraine, remember when Trump was the president, he brought over, what's his name, Zelensky? What's his name, Zelensky, how do we say it? Zelensky, he brought him here because he wanted him to investigate Biden's son for some sort of energy deal that, you know what I'm saying, what he was stealing or whatever.
Come on.
So he brought Zelensky here so that he could investigate Biden's son. But what Zelensky was going to get in exchange was kind of like a way into NATO. You know what I'm saying? That's why they were calling it, remember they were talking about quid pro quo?
Come on.
Is this for that, right? This for that. You give me this, I'm going to give you that. So Putin watching this all the time. And the Ukraine strategically is a country that has nuclear power plants. They've got natural gas. They've got all these different energy sources that strategically are important to Russia. So Putin's like, I'm taking all that.
That's right.
And when you look at the way that he went, that's the first thing they secured was the nuclear plants, the all of the energy sources in the Ukraine. But I say all that to say, on the brink of a pit of fire, they're going to pull America into this war.
That's right.
According to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. I'm not saying that he said it. And, you know, it'll probably, he said it in about a year or so. He said it real casually, too. But we know that, you know, if the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan says it, it's going down.
That's right.
But we really ought not worry about it. We really need to concentrate our efforts on building a nation of our own.
That's right.
Because as this world goes down and goes out, there is a new world coming in and coming up. And that is the Nation of Islam.
That's right. Come on.
Is that right?
That's right.
So all praise is due to Allah. But Islam is the only religion that has the power to unite us and save us from the destruction that's in this war, right? And this is the only religion, according to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, that will survive the great holy war, or the final war between God and the devil.
That's right. Come on.
Which we're in. And it's a war, of course, that really starts internally and then it goes externally. It's about the minds of the people. Is that right?
That's right.
So, all praise is due to Allah. In my conclusion,
Yes, sir.
right?
Yes, sir.
The Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us that Islam dignifies. Islam civilizes. Islam is access to power.
That's right.
Islam is help to the helpless poor.
Come on.
Oh man. I mean, think that over now. It dignifies. We know that it dignifies because it dignified us.
Sure did.
It brought us from ignominy to where we are right now. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
It civilizes. It gave us a measure of civilization. We didn't know what civilization was. Because the devil's civilization is not civilization at all. This is anarchy and chaos. Right? I mean, straight up. It's access to power. See, when we're practicing Islam, and that's the most important part, practicing Islam, we have access to our own power.
Wow.
Which is our nature.
Come on.
See, now we're not that lion in a cage, right?
Yes, sir.
Because the lion in the cage can't get out. He don't know what to do. He waiting for the zookeeper to come feed him. Is that right?
That's right.
But a lion outside of the cage, you can't put him in the cage, man. I'm gonna eat whatever I want to eat. What do you eat? Well, I'm at the top of the food chain, so whatever I want.
Teach.
You know what I'm saying? Zookeeper, man, don't even show up. You gonna get ate. You dinner today. But that's accessing our power. So once we have that knowledge of self, man, we doing for self. Is that right? That's what that means.
That's right.
We're doing for self. We're making sure that we're taking care of our families, building our own communities, securing our communities, securing our women. Is that right?
That's right.
All praises due to Allah. Islam is help for the helpless poor. See, it's what, when a man knows himself, when he knows himself, it's akin to knowing God. So when you know yourself, you're going to get up. Is that right?
Right.
So if you helpless, you're not helpless anymore because now I know self. I'm only helpless because I didn't know. But once God comes and gives us that knowledge, we up, brothers and sisters. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
So the Honorable Elijah Muhammad finishes out in this wonderful chapter. He says, are you too proud to submit to Allah and sit in heaven while you live and have his protection against your open enemy? Take it or leave it. You will soon wish you had taken Islam. God is drying up America by degrees. The time is at hand and hell is kindling up. Islam is the right way. Oh man, that's a beautiful, I gotta ask that again. He says, are you too proud to submit to Allah and sit in heaven while you live and have his protection against your open enemy? Take it or leave it. You will soon wish you had taken Islam. God is drying up America by degrees. The time is at hand and hell is killing up. Islam is the right way. Man, all praise is due to Allah. And you know, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said it. Savior's Day 2020. The unraveling of a great nation.
That's right.
And, you know, I said every time I'm up here that America's done. Stick a fork in her, right? Islam is the right way. But now it's up to us, family, to go out, to get our people, right? And to show them that Islam is the way through our example, most importantly. But also, you know, just giving them that kind word that they don't know, dropping that final call on them, pointing them to NOI.org, pointing them to NOIDenver.org, just having that right spirit to give them, to show them that Islam is the way, because our people are looking for something else. And there's an awakening taking place in our people. We just need to fill that void, right?
Yes, sir.
So with that, family, thank you all for being so patient, man. Thank you all for coming out. I love and appreciate each and every one of you. But I'm going to leave you as I greeted you in peace. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam, sir.
All praise is due to Allah. It's your brother Herman, Supreme Style Muhammad. Just wanted to drop in and let you know what we have going on. In addition to our community work that we've been doing for years, and in addition to being the sole proprietor of Supreme Style Barbershop, where we've been serving the community for close to 25 years, now we've partnered up with an insurance company called Ethos in an effort to help our people with life insurance. That's something that we all need. I know it's something that we don't want to think about, but it is something that we all need if we want to leave anything to our loved ones when we leave this space. So do me a favor, click on the link or go to our website astar2.com and click on the Ethos page. We'll see you on the other side.